and the dread that many voters are feeling when it comes to casting their ballots. If there's one thing Democrats, Republicans, and independents can agree on right now, is that very few of them want a rematch between former President Trump and President Biden. So let's bring in Princeton University Politics and Public Affairs Associate Research Scholar, Lauren Wright. Lauren, thanks for being with us again.
Hey, Marky.
So President Trump is the first president to face federal charges, of course, and then President Biden has a dismal approval rating. People have labeled this the election of dread. And if that's the case, why are these two still our leading guys?
Well, I think because the base of both parties doesn't seem to perceive that they have a lot of options right now. Biden, most presidents in his situation do run for a second term. They rarely opt out of that. And Trump is sort of making history in his own right. This has only ever worked, a non-consecutive bid for the presidency that results in success once with Grover Cleveland in 1892. And it's a very, very tall order. And so I do think they both have the name recognition and the status, but there is just a lot of general fatigue in American politics that you're picking up on when we get closer to the election. Yeah, I do think that they will energize their bases of support against each other.
Yeah, and I'm curious how you see this impacting voter turnout with such widespread disapproval for both Biden and Trump. If they're pitted against each other once again, which is looking like that's the best possibility here, would disillusioned voters simply stay home, or how does this result in the polling booths?
They could, but my guess, just because of the vitriol here and sort of the media circus involving both candidates and a rematch, is that both bases will be very energized, and we've seen voter turnout ticking up. And we might see even more people come out to vote in 2024 than we did in 2020. Both parties have been really working on getting their numbers up, and there's no reason to think that excitement won't carry through.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about age, too. President Biden is 80. President Trump just turned 77. Even if we end up with a Trump-Biden rematch in 2024, presumably we'll have two new candidates in 2028, I would think. Will this dread that so many voters are feeling go away once Biden and Trump are no longer candidates, or is this just the new normal for elections in America?
I mean, that's a great question. One thing both presidents are having to contend with is who is my heir apparent, who's the successor. For Biden, that is Kamala Harris, and she comes with a lot of lower popularity ratings lately, a lot of missteps that will be challenging for Democrats. But for Trump, he's got, I think, 3 now, and it could possibly be 4 if Mike Pompeo jumps in the race, of his former administration members or campaign supporters running against him. That's absolutely unprecedented. And so for Trump, it will be interesting to see who the nominee is. It'll probably be someone like Carrie Lake, maybe an outsider who supports his falsehood that the 2020 election was stolen, someone very loyal to him. But I don't think, at least on the Republican side, we're looking at a typical known person in the GOP establishment.
And I think you see this GOP field, growing more crowded by the week. And you have to assume most of them know they don't have a chance this cycle, but are playing the long game for 2028. Lauren Wright, thank you so much for joining us, as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.